I didn't start in the food industry. I was actually, I'm an industrial engineer, moved into marketing computers, and then around 2008, there was kind of a little bit of a meltdown in that industry. So I decided I'd do something different, and I went out and bought a restaurant in Sonoma County, a place called Sebastopol. Quaint little roadhouse. I didn't know anything about the business. I knew about business, but not restaurants. But I learned quick. And my dad used to tell this stupid joke. Did anyone see the Henway in the lobby this morning? Anyone? About 6 pounds. Okay? My dad told that joke ad nauseum my whole life as a kid, probably into my adulthood. And Dad's gone. So I decided to name my restaurant the Henway Cafe, and did that for about 4 years. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about sustainability now, and by definition, we're talking about providing healthy food, keeping the ecosystem going for future generations, and minimizing the impact to the economy. The Sheraton Starwood actually has had a sustainability program in place since 2009. They started this one. So in 2009, they launched the sustainability meeting practices for the hotel events, and that includes menus, sustainable packaging, and local food sourcing. In 2012, I don't know if we can get that next picture up, Kelly, is that possible? They published a sustainable food and beverage policy for the whole company of Starwood. 2014, they started banning endangered species like shark and sea mammals, stuff like that. And then recently, they announced, 2015, if that's recent, they announced a sustainable seafood positioning statement. And what they do is they basically give us a roadmap of all the different seafood products and what the categories of sustainability, or what the categories of deciding how to use these products impacts us. And I just want to, if I could find my note on that one. So the categories were things like the fish may be endangered. I think I mentioned that with the sea mammals, or the population might be in decline, or there might be some impact to the ocean environment and things like that. So what that chart does for us is it allows us to look at how we want to implement menu items, and based on a more sustainable, conscious methodology, if you will. So this week, you guys have had a lot of different food. By the way, if you liked any of the food and you want to compliment it, I'll be available after the presentation. And if you have any complaints, Kelly Brown is the banquet manager. You can see her. Okay, all our vendors today, and it's really growing, this consciousness of sustainability. So all the vendors typically have some kind of a sustainability program. And to do something like this in large scale and things like that, you have to really look at the whole, basically the supply chain. Everything from who's giving us food or supplying food, who's supplying us packaging, paper products, for instance, are all recyclable now. We do things like, instead of using bottled water, we set up a water cooler in the back for you folks to give you an alternative method to have your H2O. And then people like big vendors, US Foods is one I looked up, and they have sustainability practices. One they call Serve Good. And Serve Good, for them, looks at all their suppliers and how they're implementing sustainability programs, basically, and what they're doing. The one I just pulled up was they have something called American Humane certification to vendors who, I guess, basically treat their animals correctly. And the one that they mentioned is having cage-free chickens for cage-free eggs, things like that. Okay, so I took down a few of the items you guys have had this week: chicken, beef, and pork, and probably a few other things, obviously. Chickens, they're raised in Colorado. I guess if you went to the Sheridan in California, they'd be raised there. They're 100% vegetable fed. They have a never-ever antibiotics or growth hormone program. And let's see, the beef, locally raised again. I always wonder if the beef, you know, I was in California and they said happy cows are in California or something like that. I always wondered if they talk to each other and say, you know, hey, I'm out in California, you want to come visit me for a few weeks and trade, you know, vacations. But anyway, I think we do a very good job at looking at all the different possibilities, if you will, at least having a conscious effort in that regard. And it shows up not only in good business practices, which everyone would agree it is, but what I see when I look at some of the side impacts of doing this kind of things is things like morale in the kitchen. The people are more proud to work for a company that has programs in place for doing this kind of thing because it's a community thing and all that. We have a chef. He rides his bike to, he's in his mid-60s, rides his bike to work every day, and very environmentally conscious. And the other day we had a crate of tomatoes we picked up, and it was in a plastic crate, and it wasn't our usual crate because we got it down at the local supermarket. And Paul is his name. He's like, well, what's this crate? What should I do with this? You know, because it didn't fit all our recyclable program stuff that we usually see. And I said, I don't know. I think it came from City Market because that's where we picked up the tomatoes yesterday. And he goes, oh, okay. I'll drop it off back there on my ride back home this afternoon. And he did. And I think that's kind of, you know, the side benefits of sustainability. It really does impact the community. It makes people feel good. It's good business practice, and it's marketable. I mean, we can talk about, we market on our menus that we do, you know, sustainable products and things like that. So I'm going to close with that, and the one more thing I have to mention, I need to invite Doug back up on the stage. We actually do a global citizenship meeting impact report card. And in this report card, according to our calculations, in this meeting alone for the week, we've removed 11 vehicles from the road for a year. We've powered 7 homes for a year with the savings from power consumption. And apparently we've planted 1,374 trees this week as well, which I guess I missed that one. But anyway, Doug, this report is for you. I'll give you a clean copy because I wrote on that one. And again, I really want to thank everybody for listening to me for one thing, but also I hope you did enjoy the food. I hope you enjoyed the Sheridan venue. We're thrilled to have you people. We're very customer-oriented. We're very satisfaction-oriented. So we want to know that we're doing good things for you folks. And we want to know where we can correct things that may not be as good. So please let us know either way. So thanks for your patience and enjoy the rest of your conference.